junkies. I hope we're on. Oh, there we are. This is Cannabis Culture News Live. What's shaking? This is Jeremiah.
It's Friday.
That's right. Sitting with Mark Klokeid, the weed guy.
It's not raining no more and the sun's coming out. Look, it knows.
And behind me on the big screen here, we have Matt Mernagh, cannabis champion.
An amazing author also.
Getting stoned with you, buddy. How's it going?
Going all right. Now, hopefully we have that set up too, Marius. I don't know if Matt's actually plugged directly into the soundboard. You might have to work that out, Marius.
Can you talk some more?
Yeah, that's cool. And on the line, on the telephone, we have Paul Armentano of NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Paul, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. It's good to be here.
Awesome. Well, I really wanted to get started with Paul because we have a lot to go through right at the beginning of the show here. And Paul, thanks for coming on. There's a ton of stuff going on down in the U.S. You and I had a conversation earlier in the day today, and you actually made me feel really good. You had sort of a positive message that I left with after talking to you, that there's some sea change happening down in the U.S. when it comes to marijuana policy, or at least in terms of how it's being judged by the media and some of the opinion makers in the United States. So I wanted to talk to you about that. I wanted to get more specific and talk about a couple of the hemp initiatives that are happening there. There's a federal one and one in Colorado. And I also wanted to talk about some of the new health studies into marijuana and the effects of cannabis, some positive stuff there as well. So, Paul, I thought I'd ask you just first of all about some of the hemp stuff that's going on. This is an issue that we don't talk enough about on the show, unfortunately, is the hemp issue in general. But I know that Rand Paul and an unlikely Republican had a hemp bill federally. Can you tell us about that one?
Sure. There is legislation in Congress, and it is pending in both the House of Representatives and in the U.S. Senate. And this legislation is the Industrial Hemp Farming Act. This is a bill that has actually languished in committee for several previous years. But what is exciting about its prospects for this year are, as you mentioned, some of the unlikely co-sponsors of this year's version of this legislation. In particular, Mitch McConnell, who not only is a Republican, he is the House Minority Speaker, as well as Rand Paul. So what we're seeing this year is an actual federal discussion regarding hemp cultivation and reclassifying America's archaic Controlled Substances Act in such a way that it makes a legal distinction between marijuana and industrial hemp, much like Canada already does. So we see that this bill's pending in the House. It has 45 co-sponsors. There's a Senate companion bill. This is the first time that sort of legislation has ever been in the Senate. And there was a serious effort some weeks ago to get this language included as part of a overall farming appropriation bill. While that effort was not successful, and for this measure to move forward, it will have to move as a standalone bill, the very fact that lawmakers for the first time are having this discussion, not just at the state level in places like Colorado and Kentucky, but at the federal level as well, is quite heartening.
Oh, you still there, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, well, that's fantastic, but it's too bad that the amendment itself didn't really make it this time. But also in Colorado, I saw that you were reporting on a bill there as well in the Senate. Another hemp bill.
Yes. Yes. In fact, when voters in November passed Amendment 64 in Colorado to legalize and regulate the adult production and sale of cannabis, they also went ahead in that measure and legalized hemp farming and hemp production, even though that was not talked about very much. So, not surprisingly, lawmakers in Colorado this spring enacted legislation to essentially set up a new division of the Colorado Department of Agriculture to oversee the registration process for licensing farmers who wish to grow commercially industrial hemp in the state of Colorado, as is now permitted under Colorado law. And the bill that was signed says that the rules and regulations for this registration process need to be in place by no later than March 1st, 2014. So it is definitely our expectation that less than a year from now, we may have in Colorado the first legally licensed commercial hemp farmers that we've had in this country since the Second World War.
Right, and of course, Paul, there's this ongoing, of course, you and I talked earlier about how because of Washington and Colorado, there's been a lot of attention to this issue in the United States as a whole, and a lot of the media is starting to really sort of take this serious now. And but of course, there's still this war between the state governments themselves and the federal government, and how Obama is continuing to go after the medical marijuana dispensaries and send out these notifications or notices to the landowners themselves or the landlords. So there's, of course, this back and forth going on from the federal government to the state government. But I wanted to talk about that issue that you and I talked about, that because of Washington and Colorado, the media is really paying a lot of attention to this now, and people are starting to take it more seriously.
Yeah, we're at a tipping point here in America where, for the first time in modern history, more Americans, and in particular more voters, when asked, say that they support either legalizing marijuana outright or they support removing criminal prohibitions for those who possess marijuana. We see a majority of the public agreeing with those concepts, and now for the first time only a minority of Americans support the status quo. This notion that somebody should be prosecuted and potentially incarcerated and saddled with a criminal record for engaging in no other activity than possessing or consuming or cultivating cannabis. Now, this is a seismic change in public opinion, and it's one that's happened rather rapidly. While many people talk about marijuana use in America sort of at its peak in the 1970s, what's important to remember is that fewer than 1 out of 3 Americans during the supposed height of marijuana use during that decade actually supported legalizing marijuana. Political support and public support for marijuana law reform during that period of time was really low. It was the minority opinion. That is not the case anymore, where we have well over 50% public support, and we're seeing that support now registered consistently. And it was really driven home by the votes in Colorado and Washington. I think there was an assumption among mainstream media and among pundits that the voters were ahead of the politicians on the marijuana law reform issue, but it only became a reality to the media and to those pundits that gin up public discourse in America after the vote results on November 6th. And since that date, there has been a dramatic change in the way the media and the way pundits discuss this issue. It has moved from the notion of why should we reform our marijuana laws to the idea that marijuana law reform and ultimately legalization of marijuana is inevitable.
Right. And now I still see, there's a lot of press who sort of take the issue as a joke. They always seem, especially even here in Canada, they tend to put the spin on it that there's a tongue-in-cheek thing going on. There's always lots of puns. But at least it's starting to be taken more seriously. And Paul, you'd be one to know, because I know you do a lot of press. Marius, are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah, push your microphone forward.
Like there?
Yeah, so because if it's underneath your chin.
Okay, how's that?
That's good. That's good.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Marius.
Yeah. Try to keep it in
Always
front.
on it with sound.
That's
Looking
right.
out for the viewers
Thanks,
out
Marius.
there. Thank you, Marius. Awesome. It's smoky in here.
It is smoky in here. Now, Paul, I was also perusing the NORML website and noticed you reported on a couple different health issues there that are in the press a little bit, or maybe not as much as we'd like them to be. But one of them was a new Israeli study about the neuroprotective qualities, and also basically the studies were showing that cannabis acts as a protectant to both your heart and your brain, wasn't it?
Yes, well, we're talking about two separate studies. These are both preclinical studies, which means these results were reported in animal models. But what is interesting about both of those studies was, one, the neuroprotective properties that were discussed in this study. These were, we saw these outcomes even though researchers purposely administered a very low dosage of THC. So this is interesting because we've seen neuroprotective benefits documented with THC before, but in this case, it was demonstrated that the neuroprotective properties of this particular cannabinoid appear to be so potent that they can be achieved even using an ultra-low dose of THC, at least in this particular animal model. The second study you're referring to that showed cardioprotection was associated with CBD, cannabidiol, which is a non-psychotropic cannabinoid that has been gaining a lot of attention in recent years here in America among particular patients and particularly among researchers, because it seems to hold a litany of very significant therapeutic properties such as anti-cancer properties, anti-diabetic properties, bone-stimulating properties, and also cardioprotective and neuroprotective properties.
Right, now this is another one that I've seen a lot of reporting on lately.
Happy 420.
Oh, happy 420, everybody. But yeah,
Happy 420! A little late on it.
happy 420 to the... We're here in the Vapor Lounge at BCMP, 307 West Hastings. But yeah...
If you got them, spark them.
That's right. That's okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Remind people.
I was just going to say about the study I saw was about diabetes and about how cannabis works on blood sugar levels in the body and how that affects the waistline of people who smoke it. Actually, it was showing that people who smoke cannabis are more likely to be thinner, I guess.
Yeah, this is a really interesting series of studies. And to give people some background, there was some animal data published now almost a decade ago showing that if you took mice that were genetically bred to have adult onset diabetes and you administered to those mice cannabidiol, once again this non-psychotropic cannabinoid is garnering a lot of interest, it was very likely that these mice that otherwise would grow to develop type 2 diabetes would in fact not have diabetes at the age of adulthood. So that we saw in this animal model, a cannabis-based intervention actually halted the development of this disease. So that got researchers very interested in engaging in some observational trial work where they recruited individuals both with and without diabetes, and they tried to match these individuals with those of similar ages, similar ethnicities, those that grew up in similar environments, but those that used marijuana versus those that had no history of marijuana. And we now have two separate papers published from this observational data looking at a cohort of about 11,000 Americans. And the first study found that there was far less prevalence of type 2 diabetes in the population of people that had either a history of marijuana use or that were current marijuana users compared to non-users of the drug. A more recent paper was published within the last few weeks, again looking at this same cohort, and they found that those that were present users of marijuana had much better metabolic indexes compared to those who were not users of marijuana, or those that had a history of marijuana use but hadn't used it recently. Specifically, they found that the current users of marijuana had lower glucose levels. They had greater insulin resistance, for instance. And as you mentioned, they tended to have smaller waistlines. And this is not a result of individuals using marijuana for appetite-stimulating purposes. It was clear when you looked at the diet of these people that those that were using marijuana were taking in more calories. In some cases, they had higher cholesterol levels. But the way the body is breaking down food and these other metabolic indexes were clearly being influenced by the marijuana use and being influenced in a very positive way in regards to potentially staving the development of adult onset diabetes. It was fascinating literature, and I'm glad to see that there's finally some actual clinical work that is taking place in this arena.
Yeah, and I hope to see more of that. Now, is that becoming more prevalent too, Paul? I mean, that this is actually, the research is starting to be done in this. That's one thing that I've always been alarmed about, or just I thought was very strange, is that we keep seeing all of these benefits of marijuana over and over and over again, and there's studies that show all these crazy benefits, but yet the doctors themselves have been reluctant to actually get behind medical marijuana itself. Why do you think that is?
I think many doctors stop learning. They get to a certain point in their careers, they're no longer in medical school, they don't necessarily keep up with the medical texts, they're too busy seeing patients, they're too busy living their lives, that many of them are simply unaware of the research that's being published literally daily in these sort of scientific journals. There has been an explosion of research into the therapeutic efficacy of cannabinoids over the last decade. In fact, if any of your listeners go on PubMed, which is the search engine for the U.S. government's national repository of every scientific paper that's ever been published anywhere in the world, and you simply type in marijuana 2013, you'll get over 2,700 separate cited peer-reviewed scientific papers about cannabis that have just been published in the last 6 months. If you go back to the last few years, you'll see a body of literature that now exceeds well over 10,000 scientific peer-reviewed papers dealing with cannabis. If you were to do this in the 1980s, you would only get literally about 100 to 200 papers published about cannabis each year. Now we see thousands of papers published in the scientific literature about cannabis each year, and many of these papers are reaffirming these sort of therapeutic benefits that anecdotally we've heard about for decades, but now we are seeing these results affirmed in clinical and in trial settings. So as somebody like me who's sort of a junkie for this research, it's an unprecedented time, and it's a very exciting time. That doesn't always mean that this research is getting out among the general public. As I said, it's in many cases, it's not even necessarily being absorbed by the very doctors you would want to expose this information to. But it is out there for those that are willing to look for it and read about it and are willing to take the stance to take this information and educate others about it.
Excellent. So, Paul, overall, I mean, we were talking about how there is this sort of movement happening now that we haven't really seen before, but is there, you know, there's this divide between this sort of momentum that we have going and this federal government who just refuses to budge on some of these issues. Now, they talk like they are budging on issues, and they do say some things that are kind of nice, but again, are they not sending these messages out and trying to shut down medical marijuana operations that are totally legal by state government standards?
By all means, there is a terrible divide between where the public stands on this issue and where the federal government is on this issue. And ultimately, for marijuana law reform to really take root in this country, obviously we have to do a better job as activists, as reformers, as advocates at closing that chasm. But I do want to say this. When we look back at the history of prohibition in this country, in the United States, and we look at the model and the lessons that learned under alcohol prohibition. One of the lessons is this. The federal government does not lead on this issue. It follows. And when we look at the evolution of alcohol prohibition, it was begun by the actions of a single state. When New York State in 1923 elected to opt out of the enforcement of alcohol prohibition, that set the dominoes moving. Granted, the federal government did not end alcohol prohibition for nearly a decade later, but when 9 additional states followed suit with New York State and also ended the prohibition of alcohol, the federal government faced a choice. They could have continued or tried to continue this failed federal policy by using their limited manpower and their limited political will and going into these 10 states and enforcing a federal prohibition that the states had stopped enforcing, or they could choose to reconsider their policy and let the states decide what to do. And that's ultimately what the federal government did, based on the actions of 10 states saying, we're no longer going to do your dirty work. If you want to keep this prohibition alive, then the burden is on you to enforce it. We're not going to do it anymore. We now have 2 states in this country that have opted out of marijuana prohibition. And within the next 2 to 4 years, it's very likely we're going to see another 4 to 6 states join them. I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know what the magic number is going to be when the federal government comes to a similar fork in the road, like it did with alcohol prohibition. But it is safe to say that that day is coming, and that day is coming soon. Because without the states being the primary enforcers of marijuana prohibition, the entire system of prohibition is going to fail, and the federal government understands that. And as more states opt out of this prohibition, the burden is going to be on the federal government to essentially back off and let this be literally a states' rights issue. And I think we are coming upon that day.
Well, I sure hope so. Paul, thanks for coming on today. Really appreciate it. You can find really great reporting by Paul Armentano at NORML.org. Ton of great stuff at NORML all the time. And I guess people can get involved in NORML in general, sign up and become a part of NORML, a member. And you guys have a ton of stuff going on at NORML. I love your guys' website. Just endless information over there, Paul.
Thank you very much for the plug, and indeed, people that want to get involved in reforming laws in the United States can simply go on our website and get involved, and those from anywhere who simply want to keep up to date with the latest science regarding marijuana and marijuana law reform, I encourage them to go to NORML.org as well. And I also just want to give a quick plug for the book I co-authored with Steve Fox and Mason Tvert, Marijuana is Safer, So Why Are We Driving People to Drink? There will be an updated, expanded, revised version of that book that will be available later this summer. And I definitely encourage people to check it out. They can go to marijuanaissafer.com and read reviews and excerpts from the book online.
Awesome. Now, Paul, you mentioned Mason. Mason Tvert's a friend of the show. Of course, he had a lot of success there in Colorado. And before we let you go, I thought maybe I'd just talk to you a little bit more about Colorado and Washington. And just very quickly about where things are headed in each spot. Like right at this very moment, I know there's some debate in Washington happening over how these government-run stores are actually going to look. And I know Colorado's sort of struggling with some of the finer details as well.
Yes, you're correct. So what those laws did was they set a legal threshold for the amount of marijuana a person may legally possess, and in those cases, that marijuana is no longer considered to be contraband under state law. In Colorado, the law also outlined a legal threshold for the amount of marijuana one could cultivate in their own home. Both those measures tried to take the legalization of marijuana for individuals a step further, but also trying to enact commercial production and retail sales of marijuana. And that is going to involve different regulations. And right now, both states are in the process of finalizing the regulations that are going to govern how one is licensed to commercially grow marijuana and how one may engage in the legal retail sales of marijuana to those over age 21. And both of those states are under mandated timelines whereby they have to have those regulations finalized. In Colorado, I think they have to have them finalized by about October or so, and in Washington, it's by the end of the year. But I do think it is safe to say that we are going to see actual brick-and-mortar distributors of marijuana engaging in retail sales of marijuana to those over age 21 in Colorado within the next 6 to 8 months, and likely in Washington by the spring of 2014.
Wow, craziness. Well, it's exciting stuff, man. It's just weird to hear it.
Who gets to this? Decorations are going to be cool in that store.
Well, and yeah, government run as well. Interesting.
So who are the suppliers? Who's growing it?
Yeah, well, I guess that stuff's all...
Again, it's going to be individuals who apply and are granted a license by the state. I want to be clear. This isn't necessarily government-grown or government-sold marijuana any more than we would say that alcohol that is produced or sold in America is government-brewed or government-sold alcohol. What we have is a system like alcohol where individuals that want to commercially brew alcohol or sell alcohol have to obtain a license to do so. And that same licensing process is going to exist for marijuana at both the commercial production level and at the retail sales level.
So any estimation of how many licenses will be given out or retailers there will be of different growers or licenses, producers for these states?
Yes. It is going to be different individuals that wish to apply for the license are going to have to go through a application process, pay a registration fee, and then obtain a license. And the producer of marijuana is not necessarily going to have to be the seller or the retail seller of marijuana. You will have likely separate producers and separate retail sellers.
Yeah. Excellent. Cool. Awesome, Paul. Well, thanks a lot, man. Much appreciated. Always great talking with you, and we'll definitely have you on again soon. Paul Armentano.
Okay, sounds good. Keep in touch.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Paul Armentano, NORML.org. You got to check it out over there.
So much information. He just knows everything that's going down.
Oh, man. On NORML.org, his blog is just packed with story after story of a lot of great stuff happening in the U.S. and some scary things. What's up, Marius?
Well, if you really have to keep your mouth and the mic directed when you lean off to the side, it's people.
Really
there's a really a big drop of volume from here to here.
Okay.
Right. Honestly. So
we go.
if you want
How's
the
that?
audio
Talk down a
levels,
little further back.
if you have it like in front of you all the time and you're
I'll try
speaking,
not
you're speaking
bobbling
into
my head
it.
so much.
Yeah. No, just it'll just help
Put it right in front of my face.
all around.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, or
I
under
don't know
your
if they can
chin,
hear
like
Matt
now.
there on the other speaker. Matt, can we hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine. I was listening into Paul there. It was a great interview and then enjoyed listening in.
Okay, we can hear you too. That's very good.
Excellent.
How's it sound, Marius, to them?
Sounds good.
Okay, good.
Push your mic forward, please.
Mario?
More towards me?
No, forward.
Oh, this way.
Away from you. Yeah.
Okay,
Away
there you
from you,
go.
because then, as long as you can see it, you're projecting into
there
it.
you go.
Now we're speaking technical details into the audience. But.
Right. Okay. I want to bring Jody on because I know her time is limited.
Press for time.
Jody,
Yes.
Awesome.
you're the next contestant. No, he's just shimmying down on the couch.
It's like
And
a
there's
real
this.
talk
I've been
show.
eating this caramel popcorn.
Well,
Oh yeah, look at
Have
that.
you eaten any other
I
food
can't
yet?
see you. I'm only seeing your Skype feed.
Not much.
You should
I've been
eat.
eating a
Hey
little
Matt,
bit.
you're looking good.
Thanks, Jody. I appreciate that. I've been working hard.
Awesome. Yes, congrats on the book. And I saw you posted. There's court, though? You're going to court? Is that?
Pardon?
Are you going to court on Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday I'm in court for basically another court appearance. That's what we got going on there is they keep dragging this thing out.
Well, you keep fighting like a champ. Cannabis champion of the world.
Well, you know, it's been 5 years, and I'm not going to talk about court because I'm not allowed to.
Oh, that's fine.
We're waiting for the Supreme Court to give us a ringy-ding and say, here's your date.
All right.
If that happens or not, we don't know, but I think our case is very solid.
Awesome. Well, yeah, okay, so Jeremiah, thanks for having me on the show, I guess. I'm going to let you interview me because I always just end up talking, so let's get interviewed. Let's try this.
All right. Well, it's good to see you. We haven't really talked to you much since your campaign here in Vancouver for MLA for the Green Party.
Yeah.
That was very cool. Yeah. Now, a lot has happened since then. Of course, just recently the big news was that your husband, Marc Emery, the Prince of Pot, who we all love, who was locked away in a U.S. penitentiary in Mississippi, was actually locked even further away into solitary confinement.
He was locked into the jail's jail.
The jail of the jail.
The prison's jail cell.
Over some seriously ridiculous, bogus charges. Why don't you fill people in and just tell us about what happened there?
Sure thing. Well, last Monday night, I heard from 3 inmates and through their girlfriends or people who contacted me, saying that Marc had been put in solitary confinement and nobody knew why. And of course, I called the prison, but they don't tell you anything. And I knew that I needed to get down there to visit Marc. Now, I had already planned a trip to visit on that weekend, so I fly down Fridays, I fly home Mondays. It's a whole day of travel to get down there, and unfortunately, solitary inmate, it's SHU, S-H-U, Special Housing Unit, so I'm going to use the word SHU. I don't mean a foot shoe, I mean that's solitary confinement, but it's far easier to say. Lock him in a big shoe. So Marc was in SHU, and SHU inmates only get visits between 1 and 3 on Fridays, and I knew I needed to get down there, even if it would only be for 2 hours. So I had to change my flight to Thursday, and that was a nightmare of a journey because I got trapped in Houston with my flight getting delayed and canceled, and then a big storm came in and shut down the whole airport, and I was on standby, and if I didn't make the standby flight, I would be flown out the next morning, but I wouldn't make it to Yazoo in time, and so I was contemplating driving 8 hours at night. It was crazy. It was really awful. And then, but by some grace of whatever gods there are or whatever positive energy, a lot of people I know were actually praying and lighting candles and doing things that whatever way they choose to ask the universe for something, they were doing that for me and Marc, for me to be able to get there to see him. And so with tears almost streaming down my face, my name was called, and I was on that last seat on that last plane late at night. Got to Yazoo City at like 2 a.m. and got to visit Marc. But just
pinch your way through.
Oh my gosh, flying at the seat of my skirt, literally. Like,
because you don't wear pants.
Because I don't wear pants. So, but it was really stressful, and just not knowing why Marc was held, what reason. See, I knew nothing. I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't get phone calls. I had no info whatsoever. So I was worried sick, and I didn't know what to expect. And I got to see him only for an hour and a half because the prison takes forever to get visitors back there. But it was really awful to see. And I just filmed my weekly show, so I'm not going to go into all the details, but you guys can watch that when it gets uploaded later.
Watch it on Pot TV.
On Pot TV Network, youtube.com/Pot TV Network, my weekly
Jody,
video update.
This place that he went to, the SHU, this isn't a very nice place. He's in there for 23 hours out of 24 a day.
Imagine a bathroom with a toilet and a shower and 2 beds and a stranger already in there, and you're locked in to that cell for 23 hours a day, and you can't get anyone's attention, and you can't talk to anybody. You don't get out. You don't get fresh air. You don't get sunshine. You don't get adequate food. You don't get anything. I mean, it was awful. Marc was in this horrific...
They lock other crazy people in this place because they're trying to get people
out of the
regular...
They lock people up who are troublemakers, but they also drive inmates insane through solitary confinement. Solitary confinement is defined as torture by the United Nations and different groups, and so it drives people insane, and they're held there for indefinite periods of time. That means you never know when you're getting out. Never.
But there was a guy in one of the cells next to Marc that actually lit something on fire.
In the unit there was a fire, and there was smoke, and it filled up the unit, and that was terrifying because prisoners do die from solitary confinement and prison fires. So Marc was quite terrified, and rightfully so. And it was just a nightmare. Yeah, they turned off the air conditioning. It was super hot. Then they had big fans out, so he couldn't sleep because it was just this jet engine noise right outside the cell door, nonstop all night. So it's really awful. And just I don't know. It was horrific. So anyway, I just worked to try and get him out. We had people contacting the prison and our lawyers, and even Libby Davies, member of Parliament, offered to help get him home. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
he
then
got out on Monday night.
That's right. Eventually, he was.
Oh, and what this
let out
was
of
for?
solitary.
He was in the shoe because somebody claimed that the photos of Mark and his prison band were taken possibly with a cell phone, and you're not allowed cell phones in prisons. That's a serious violation. But the crazy thing is, those photos were authorized by the prison. Mark got all the permissions. The prison camera took the photos. The prison photographer took the photos. They printed them. They mailed them. And that was in February that was all approved. It was April when I put the photos online. And it's only now, while Mark's transfer application is in the U.S. government's hands, that he gets punished for these photos. But the prison did what was right and acknowledged that their investigation was complete and he did not have a smartphone, so he was let out.
Yeah, and it's just ridiculous. The prison itself takes the photos, okays it first of all. The special
with paperwork. There's paperwork to prove it, and so they got the paperwork and they said, yeah, okay. It was signed by like 4 different people who work in the prison. So
but
it's just madness.
We kind of found out later though that there was one individual in there who maybe forgot that he had signed the paperwork and was like, "Oh, I don't remember doing that."
No, yeah, he did. That's true. The SIS investigation, but he didn't know. Like he knew from the get-go. He didn't forget. They knew that there was paperwork, but the problem is the process. It doesn't matter what the issue is. It's that they put you in solitary, then you go through the process. It takes time to investigate.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what. I don't care what's the details.
Like, how do they know? Like a week? You think that you'd be able to remember?
It can take a month. It usually takes a month to
crazy.
take care of investigations. But
well, we're lucky he's out now, so that's really good.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. But Jody, you're on the move. You're going to be going to Toronto again very soon here.
It has been the busiest time of my life, and I keep saying that, so it keeps getting busier.
It never stops around here.
Stops.
We were recently in Toronto
When
ourselves together
gosh.
recently for the TY
At the
Expo.
end of May, that's right, Treating Yourself Expo.
Treating Yourself.
Which
Wasn't
was
too
lots
long
of
ago.
Fun.
It was.
Where are we right now? We're in the middle of.
Where
what's
am
the
I?
date?
Where is this? Who am I?
We're in the middle of June. Okay, middle of June.
Yeah.
And you know what? I just want to acknowledge that today would have been Michelle Rainey's birthday, and she would have been 42. And I realized I wore bold red lipstick today for some reason. I'm in the elevator, and I was like, oh, Michelle with her big red lips all the time. So, yeah, everyone's fighting hard for Michelle right now because with the right to grow being jeopardized, I'm sure we all agree that Michelle Rainey would be front and center. Yeah,
that's right.
Fighting hard, and I mentioned this in my show where I get a little emotional just thinking about it. But we owe it to everybody who's come before us to keep fighting, because we all go at some point, and we're not going to be here. But all we leave behind is our legacy and our fight and our passion, and the hope that people will take that and keep that alive, even when we're not. So there you go.
Right. Very well said, Jody.
Alrighty.
Well, and so you're going to Idea City? That's what's happening next?
That's
then?
also a tearjerker because Michelle, of course, is a big part of Idea City, and I know there's going to be a lot of love for her there. But yes, I spoke last year at Idea City. It's a big conference in Toronto, a meeting of the minds, a lot of different topics, and I spoke about the war on drugs. And if you go to my Twitter, twitter.com/Jody Emery, I was just sharing the link or no, I didn't actually share that link, but on Facebook I did, the link to my presentation about the drug war and the harm it causes to so many people, including Mark, of course. And so I presented last year, and presenters get invited back as guests, and so I'm getting very, very spoiled with a trip to Toronto so I can go and hear some incredible presenters on a huge range of topics. And Conrad Black is actually a presenter this year, and Moses Neimer, the organizer, I hope will introduce us, because he asked me if I would like to meet Conrad Black one time, and I sure would. He spent time in prison. If you don't know who he is, it doesn't really matter, but he's railed against the drug war, and for me, that's awesome. So, but yeah, I'll be gone all next week, basically. Leave on Tuesday, back the next Sunday, and then off to see Mark soon after. No, wait. And then the Kush Cup. Then the Kush Cup. And then Cannabis and the Health Expo. And Cannabis Canada Day. And then I go see Mark And then I don't know what, but I'm sure it's not going to slow
Too
down.
many things happening.
Seattle Hemp Fest.
It's crazy.
Seattle Hemp Fest.
Oh yeah, we're
too.
going to Hemp Fest too. Now, are we going to Olympia Hemp Fest?
Hemp Fest. I'm also confirmed. When is that? Is that the end of July? I bet it is.
I don't know. There's too many things happening. But that's fun. Yay.
Oh,
Yeah, the glass. I'm going to the glass gathering.
These guys will be covering it,
Yeah.
so that's great.
That should be fun too.
I might try camping when Mark's home and I buy a pair of pants.
Yeah.
Or something.
You don't have any pairs of pants, Jody?
I have some jeans.
Drive up.
You don't like pants? Matt Mernagh doesn't like wearing pants. He's not wearing any pants right now.
Shower and then
Hey, maybe I will go.
Yeah,
Hotels
you should.
available, okay.
Oh, really? Oh. Well, I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening. I thought Mick had a cabin, but I don't know if Mick's going anymore. Or I think he's going. You got a cabin up there? Nice. Oh, well.
Well, and this
Staying at
is
the Sundial.
the time of
High
year
roller.
to be in BC, Vancouver particularly. So make your trip out here.
High roller.
And
The hot tub on the deck.
Kush.ca has the Kush Cup info and health.
Yeah, we're
Expo
gonna bring
stuff.
Mark
We'll be
on to talk about
broadcasting
the
that.
Kush.ca.
Okay, well, good. And that naturally
There's
feeds
Holly.
in. So I'm gonna head out. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Jody, for coming
And,
on.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention or say.
I wonder if,
Oh,
yeah.
please, if you want, go to freemark.ca. Right now, on that page, there is an address for
Yes.
the U.S. Department of Justice and for the Canadian Public Safety Minister, and phone numbers as well. But please be polite. Just call up and leave a nice message saying, "Hi, my name is so-and-so." Maybe just your first name.
Use your name, not
From-
Jody Emery.
Not Jody. and say maybe where you're from, just because, I'm an American or I'm a Canadian. And just say, there's a Canadian named Marc Emery who is currently in prison in the United States, and he has applied to be transferred home to Canada. And I am asking you to please approve that transfer. Thank you very much. Click. Easy. You might be able to rewind this video, write that down, use that. Contact them and help push for Mark to get home, because right now they're considering the decision, and if the U.S. government says yes, then we need the Canadian government to say yes. But for that, we hope to have a lot more pressure continuing, and it's just one signature that's required from Vic Taves, the Public Safety Minister, and with a lot of polite, friendly, considerate messaging.
Polite and friendly, just like the Conservatives.
No, don't give them their medicine.
I know.
Yeah, like sometimes you
don't
want to
want
be
to.
a real jerk to them because they're jerks to us, but take the higher ground.
Oh, take the high road.
That's right.
There you go. I like it.
So really,
All they
truly
need
though,
is a pun to
you
remember.
always win when you're polite and when you are the one leaving with a smile. So
That's right.
Always in life, be polite.
yeah. There you go.
Especially
you go.
like air ticket ladies that are booking your ticket and stuff
Yeah.
like that, eh? You don't
Anybody
get
who
paid extra.
serves you, be nice.
Yeah, anything that helps you do anything.
All right, well, I'm gonna head out and
Okay,
bring on
bye,
our next
Jody.
guest. Bye, Jeremiah.
Thanks for
Bye,
coming
James.
on.
Thanks for watching Pot TV.
Bye,
Woo.
Judy.
Bye, Jody.
Oh my God.
Love Jody lots.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and go and check out freemark.ca. Send Mark a letter. Send Mark something. He's
Yeah, send Mark a letter.
Yeah, he'd love
lots
to hear
of time
from
to
all you
read.
guys. That's right. But it's not going to be. It's not too long. Jody and I were talking yesterday about how it's just over a year. Yeah, a year and a month. Yeah, that's right. We are. Yeah. Yeah, just over
Less
a
than a
year.
year.
A year and a month.
We're gonna treat him like a king when he gets out, eh?
That's right. He
I was
won't be the
thinking about
prince
all the
anymore,
things
he'll be
they're
the
gonna do
king.
to him. Yeah, it's like he's gonna come back to a stronger core of people.
So we have you here, and I really like your sleeveless orange.
I wore it for the 5-gram dab video that.
I was
Big
gonna
Pete
say
attempted.
you kind of look like Fred Flintstone.
Thank you. Does Fred wear sleeveless?
No, I think, but he's got like an orange. Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
wear
he does wear
sleeveless.
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 And,
But
Fred
we
wears
have
a
a
collar.
tie, though.
I need a
Yeah,
collar,
he's got
though,
a
right?
collar.
Gotta
He's
have
got a
collar.
collar. That'd be
I don't
dope.
think
You
he has a
gotta totally
collar.
do
He just has a tie. Somehow he pulls it off.
it. Just a tie.
Just a tie.
And there, speaking of great outfits and the pot movement, we have the share of the pot movement on the show today. But he's looking kind of conservative in what he's wearing over there. Matt, you don't have any sequins that I can see today.
Well, I'm just,
Wow, he's really attacking us. Are you just begging to be attacked? Like, I just realized, what the fuck? Did you call me Fred Flintstone on fucking Pot TV? Yeah, fucking leprechaun. Let's get this shit on, man. Holy, you're high. Sorry, Matt. I just snapped
That
out of
was
it there. I
awesome.
just realized he's
That's
picking
right.
on what the
Yeah,
fuck
I
we're
think
wearing.
he-
Like he's
I
some
think-
sort of. He's wearing. Let us point out. He's wearing a fucking old 420 Vancouver.ca shirt.
Old?
Because
It's
you
like-
know he got 10 of them from the fucking
from
print thing when he got them
2013.
printed. I know, but how many do you got in your fucking closet?
I only stole
Admit
2.
it. Yeah.
That's the last person.
So like, oh yeah, good choice there, buddy.
Hey, I made the shirt.
No
I get
class,
to keep a couple
dude.
of them, okay?
Listen, you want a tango? Just bring it on, man. Any more
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone fucking shit, man? You're getting
I
it.
thought I was getting away with that.
All right, eat your popcorn. All right, continue.
Very nice, very nice.
Right, touche.
Right?
Say that again, Matt?
Karina dresses you every day, correct?
Yeah, no, I wish then I'd actually
Poor
look
girl,
good.
eh? It's got to make sure the underwear is clean and shit. That's got to
I
suck.
know.
God, you better treat that woman
Takes
good,
a lot of work.
Jeremiah. She's awesome.
I do. I love my girl.
I actually got like 20 of those shirts, or I know maybe 10.
Yeah,
Maybe
you're the one who
8.
stole a whole bundle.
I got a whole bunch, but I wear them all the time. I wonder what people think, eh? Just a staff on the back, eh? And then they read the front, and then they got to go on the website, and they're like, fuck, that guy's got an awesome job
That's right.
planning rallies.
When people look at any pot shirt I wear in the city, I usually get like a double take and then a big smile.
Yeah.
That's the pretty
I had
standard
that
reaction.
Canadian marijuana kicks ass shirt on. I got it in Niagara Falls, and I was out in fucking Toronto for $10, actually.
Yeah.
Did you notice everything in Niagara Falls is named Niagara Falls?
No, I haven't been to Niagara Falls.
Everything is. You haven't been to Niagara Falls?
No.
Mark my words. I'm taking you to Niagara Falls. We're gonna go on the fucking
I will mark.
helicopter.
Let me mark those words.
Mark
on
the
something.
words. Mark the marked words.
I don't have anything to mark.
Jesus.
Niagara
I can't
Falls,
believe you
sit
didn't go to
down.
Niagara Falls. Where you're sleeping. You're partying too hard in Toronto. You
Sleeping?
can't get up early enough to get
You're the
out
one who
there.
was sleeping.
I
No,
know,
buddy. I
right?
went there like 8 in the morning. You didn't see the footage? It's in the
Oh
helicopter.
yeah, I saw your footage. Well, I didn't. I would have been in the helicopter with you.
Went there early, buddy. I had to drive.
So-
It takes an hour and a half to drive.
We have Matt the Champ on the line here with us, and I thought we'd talk to him about some of the stuff that he's doing. Matt, you're going to be joining us in the flesh here soon in Vancouver.
That's right. I am coming out to support my buddy Mark there, and I will be at the Kush Cup, and I'm going to teach people how to judge marijuana correctly so we don't have any, like, undeserving prize winners, so to speak.
Right.
That's right. We're going to make sure people know how to judge marijuana because I smoked over 150 marijuana strains to write my book, Marijuana Smoker's Guidebook, and I photographed them, so I like to think I know what I'm talking about. It's going to be a great week for me.
We're going to get you high as balls, buddy. You won't know what you're talking about. What is it this
That's
time,
right,
Marius? Am I
that's
too
the
close
plan.
to the mic now?
No, you're just
Too loud?
changing your
That's what I'm
volume,
talking
and
about, which is the
Oh, yeah.
plan.
you can project your voice.
Um,
We don't need that for a mic.
So I'm coming out
Sorry.
to sign. I'll be
That's
at
okay.
the Pot TV booth
It's natural.
at 2
I know.
to 4:20
We're all
every
just
day,
having
signing
fun.
books. My main goal is to sign 140 books during my whole 10 days in Vancouver.
You'll
But
do
I'd
that
like
the
to
first
sell
day,
out
buddy.
during the Kush Cup.
First day.
Yeah, but you better bring more because you might
First
sell.
day. Is that it? 140 bucks? How many people do you think are going to this expo?
I don't know.
You should bring a hell of a lot more than that, dude.
Well, how many did you sell?
He's planning on
You
partying for
sold
the other 2 days.
150 at the TY Expo, but you only brought 150.
I only brought 150, and I only did it for 2 hours at a time. I'm a rock star now.
Well,
man.
then no
Yeah.
wonder you only sold 150. You only brought 150.
We're going to
That's right,
force
I sold
people to
out.
buy your book, buddy.
So hey,
150. I was a sellout.
so that's cool. So you're gonna be staying out here. How long you had down in the van
I
area
thought you should bring
for,
500
though?
bucks. 500 bucks, bud.
Yeah, I will be in Vancouver for 12 days. I arrive Wednesday night. I'll be spending Wednesday at Vancouver or Thursday at the Vancouver Seed Bank, maxing my relaxing,
Sure,
and then
Mike.
Friday we hit the ground
Marius.
totally running.
Oh, you're kidding.
Monday I'm at the Cannabis Day. I've never been to Vancouver Cannabis Day,
Oh yeah, you're gonna enjoy that one.
so that's gonna be crazy.
Are you excited about the limo
Tuesday-
buses?
What?
The limo fucking buses.
I'm excited about the limo.
How much do you think we had to bribe the fucking limo buses for prom weekend to do a pot event for 10 hours a day?
How did you use marijuana to bribe them?
Yes. They're marijuana supporters.
That's what I would have.
Actually, the owner of the company drove for Bill Cosby for 10 years. He's got crazy stories.
Oh, crazy stories about Bill Cosby.
And, well, it's a 4-block
I thought he
studio
was
in New
such a
York.
like
He's telling
stand
me.
up, straight edge sort of guy.
That's all I got to say.
That's kind of one of the noises.
Haven't you heard him go on his rant?
That's one of the noises that
You got to be
Cosby
on
makes.
drugs to do that shit.
Yeah. Now I forgot that we have the bong cam sitting here in front of me. I'm gonna hit this bong cam. Oh, and look behind us on the big screen. We also have
Whoa.
the weed jar cam.
Weed jar cam.
Weed jar cam, but we gotta cue the bong cam up here. Let's see this thing. Bong cam.
It's not your lighter either.
Whose is it?
He's like, where'd that lighter come? The lighter's been switched to 4 hands. Yeah, we sparked up over 20 joints for my Medicaid, all different varieties.
There was a lot of joints in your hand when we started that. That was.
They were pre-rolled out of those.
I took some of this candy too. This candy's really good. What flavor is this candy?
I think it's tangerine.
Tangerine.
Right?
So,
Orange?
I think so, yeah. It's kind of like orange, citrusy flavor.
Yeah, I think it's tangerine.
Matt, so I like the faces you're making back there, but you keep holding up something, and it seems like you want.
Oh, I just realized he's over top of us. Mm-hmm. Dude, you can be doing so much more stuff. Get on that table, bunny. Sit on our heads.
Yeah, up here on the
Sit on our heads. Can't you sit on us?
No, I don't want to do that to you.
It's because he's not wearing any pants.
Boring. You got great opportunity. Well,
we have to be clean because Jody's around.
no, she's gone, bud, for a week. Didn't you hear?
She's gone now.
Not to mention she's going on a plane. You gotta
We'll
be.
be banned for at least one more week.
You're never
But
clean.
I
clean.
The Marijuana Smoker's Guidebook, and I encourage people to buy it. It's available on Amazon and wherever fine books are sold.
I bought 4 copies and you signed them, and I gave them to awesome people.
Awesome people.
Yeah.
I don't have a copy yet, but I plan on getting one as soon as you're here.
Get a signed copy before he does something crazy and won't sign them no more.
Yeah, exactly. Until he might be in jail or something. It's like one of those Disney things that'll be in the vault and you can't.
Get them while you can.
So Matt, tell us about what's in the book. How is this the Smoker's Guidebook? How does it guide us?
Said, weren't you listening? He said, I tested all weed, I photographed
It's
it.
unbelievable.
But I want to see it.
What we've done is we've taken
show 'em.
marijuana strains.
Open that bitch up.
Like, oh, geez.
Look at the pictures in there. These are
Those
great.
are like really crisp.
Yeah, they're nice pictures too.
Wow, I want to smoke that. Can you scratch and sniff it?
That's a lot of people have been asking to do the scratch and sniff, and I just think it would deteriorate. It just wouldn't be worth it. But the photos turned out great. I wanted to enhance my photo skills. It's really more difficult to take a good photograph of marijuana than people like to think. You really
Especially
need
lighting.
a light studio, and computer needs to be hooked up to your camera, and focus needs to be right on. So we ended up with a lot of really nice
It sounds
photos.
really fucking hard.
Yeah, it's true though. He's right.
I also had a bit of a way of reviewing the weed. I would smoke it and just do stuff around the house or whatever it made me feel like doing. So if it was an indica and I watched a movie, I made notes about it all. And then when it came to actually writing its entry, I would smoke its entry while like just bashing out the review at that point.
So you not only tested it once, but you also wrote with it afterwards, after making notes, after experiencing it. That's important for people to know. Mm-hmm. So it was also like influenced the writing in its each one.
It's for video games.
That's awesome.
Very
Well,
cool.
you know what? It makes a good book just to peruse through too, because you can just like pull one out, and just like, read a couple strains. So it's
Look at the pretty pictures.
yeah. There's lots of different ones.
And it's not like it's expensive. It's really cheap, isn't it? I saw it on Amazon for like $10 or something.
It's $10 currently on Amazon. It's $15 at Kush Cup, where I'll sign it for you. I personalize each one, so if we're going out to Kush Cup, I'll thank you for coming out to the Kush Cup.
And you're gonna do something crazy there, I'm sure too. Something crazy.
He's
will go on.
expecting something crazy.
Something crazy. You gotta bring some of that Toronto flair. Are you bringing the red or the orange jumpsuit?
I might bring the orange jumpsuit. I realize now that
VPD would love that.
I'm gonna have to bring out all the full guns. I'm gonna bring out my new jacket, my gold sunglasses. I'm gonna bring out the DNA pants that I wear that glow in the dark.
Can you do us all a favor though? Can you do us all a favor?
Yep.
Can you please bring more than 150 books, buddy? Because you're gonna do that the first day, man. I'm gonna force people to buy them.
All right.
More books.
Force people to buy them. Force people to buy them. We love you, big guy. We gotta tag Team Jeremiah when you come too.
What?
That's really great to hear, because this is how I make a living.
The only one that thought it was sexual was Jeremiah. He's like, what? Huh?
I didn't think it was sexual.
Yes, he did.
People know I just wrote for myself.
See
I'm
you
not
smile.
involved.
I just thought it was like
I'm a member of most of them.
Gang
a
up on you?
wrestling thing.
Oh, the wrestling thing? Not violent.
You guys and your awesome wrestling. Does Toronto love wrestling or what?
Definitely love wrestling. We love shenanigans more than anything. We love like our punk bands. Last night, Yonge and Dundas Square had Social Distortion, which is a well-known punk band. They did an outdoor free show. So tonight we have the Nationals. It's a really big rock weekend here in the city. So Billy Talent will do a free show at Yonge and Dundas Square Saturday night, which is the exact same stage we hold 420 on.
That's right.
Sweet. Billy Talent.
That's
And just to be sure, we use the same sound system that Billy Talent used, will be using for 420.
Never wash that sound system again.
Guys are hilarious.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Chris is coming out too, right?
It's a lot different to work in. You kind of do have to have a bit of flair. You have to be able to speak real quickly because we have short attention spans unless we're trapped on the subway.
No shit.
What?
Newsflash.
Yeah. Now, Matt, speaking of hilarity in Toronto, your mayor is just like knocking them out of the park.
He should
every
come to
day.
Vancouver. He'll fit right in.
This guy is so awesome. And now you actually got some press recently on Canada.com. This is like the big, global Canada website. And they were interviewing you because you told them you want to work at Mayor Ford's office. And they, I guess, thought you were a perfect candidate for the job.
And serious.
I think I would. I've met Mayor Ford on 2 occasions, actually. Once before being mayor, and then when he was mayor. I thought I'd be a great communications director for the mayor. Recently, it's been discovered that it's suspecting that the Toronto police may have a wiretap. One of the people they busted on the drugs and guns sweep this week. They may have a wiretap of Mayor Ford buying crack, or they may have video surveillance of him going and buying crack.
You mean more than the other one that they had? Like another video?
They have their own video,
This would be police evidence.
Recent or like from before?
The police have been staking
Is he
out,
still smoking crack is what we want to know.
the crack houses.
Obviously he
in that
did it
neighborhood
once.
for a
You're
couple
hanging
months
out with
now.
those dudes.
And there is apparently either video or wiretap evidence of the mayor
Wow.
engaged in the crack.
He's been busy making a lot of videos. Well, here's the thing, really.
He doesn't look like he's smoking crack.
If we
like
had a
he's
couple,
he's
if we had a
smoking
couple
cheeseburgers.
rocks, I bet he'd make a video with us too. We should just go and see if he wants to hang out.
Or eat some cheeseburgers
here.
and smoke crack.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you can tell him that I don't know the crack scene out here, but from the looks of it, we've got the best crack in all of Canada, so he should come out here.
The funny thing about this Rob Ford thing is, what can be done really? Like, he's the mayor. If he's
And
a
he's
crackhead,
smoking crack.
couldn't he
Like,
just come out and
accept
say?
it.
He could just announce, "Yo, I'm a crackhead.
I'm the
I'm gonna do
mayor."
whatever I want. I'm the mayor, and fuck
I
you
think
guys."
we do,
And
on
what
one
can
hand,
anybody
have
do?
to
You have to have
accept
a
a
recall
lot of
effort.
left-wing counselors
Put
have
some
called
gold
for
in his teeth,
legalization.
too.
I would suggest that he take a nice long summer holiday of 90 days and come back fighting. He could still win an election, believe it or not, with this crack scandal. The only person they can throw up against him is MP Olivia Chow. So right now we're spending the summer debating whether or not I will run in the mayoral election next November. So we'll spend this summer preparing, kind of thinking about it. We come up with a platform of buds. We want Amsterdam-style coffee shops. We want Amsterdam-style brothels. And we want to become our own brothel.
Isn't
Wow,
prostitution legal in Canada already? Isn't it?
Yeah, well, Toronto has
Toronto,
had some
isn't it, or
successful
something like
court
that?
cases where
Yeah.
they virtually legalized prostitution. Yeah, that's right.
Matt was behind that, right?
Oh, Matt was definitely.
He's a freedom fighter,
well, I don't
so
know.
I just assumed he was
I
on
don't
that
know
one
if he
too.
was actually behind the political aspects of it, but I think the amount of money that he spends in the prostitution community really means that he's behind all of the initiatives that have to do with it down there.
Well, I think,
Good on you, bud.
well,
Good on you.
Toronto, I think most people know I've been on talk radio a couple times with her now. I'm friends with Jillian Hollander, who is the #1 madam in Canada. We make crafts on Friday, and we spend quite a bit of time together. And, so I try and keep my political idealism open, and it's something that needs to be done. I think the city of Toronto needs brothels, we need buds, and we need to be our own province.
Yeah, on a serious note, we support that. Regulate that shit.
Absolutely. It should be done. Why should they have to go to the streets? It's
Testing and-
ridiculous. Then
yeah,
that's when you
safe
have
place.
organized crime in charge of it. Anything
Yeah.
that's prohibited just means you're giving the market over to organized crime.
Yeah.
Making it more dangerous, more likely that it's going to be drug infested and everything else.
So the interesting thing about the prostitution case also is that it's being done by well-known pothead Professor Alan Young, who stopped focusing on pot cases and he took up doing the brothel case, and that's what he's been running with for the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's a civil rights constitutional sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Constitutional lawyer.
Yep. Well, yeah, Toronto, interesting. So I guess there's really, and they could even have another election for the Rob Ford campaign, and he'd probably be successful. People love him anyway.
He is definitely. Thankfully, he can't do much damage, right? If he was smart, and one of the things I would run if and when elected mayor of Toronto, I would not attend any council meetings unless I am there to cast the tie-breaking vote. The mayor simply could essentially be a figurehead and attend every ribbon-cutting, community dinner, community lunch, and community breakfast. And in this city, you have 3 dinners you could easily go to, and 2 or 3 luncheons easily you could attend if you're the mayor. So my
Free lunch every day.
is, through that council stuff, let it work itself out, and we're going to go out and hang out with the people.
But isn't going to the council meetings an integral part of being the mayor and, running the city? Because the city itself, that's where the actual nuts and bolts of the running of the city happen.
But he's not going to the meetings?
No, he doesn't want to go to any of the council meetings.
He's smoking crack. I'm not going to the meetings.
No, we're not talking about Mayor Ford
talking
now.
about Mayor.
We're talking about Mayor Mernagh.
Oh.
Mayor Mernagh's campaigning on
as I
not
say,
going to any
I don't
council
feel
meetings.
Fuck, buddy, go raise shit in the meetings, dude.
Council will run itself. The agenda can be. I don't have the agenda that needs to be done.
Holy,
I
buddy.
think the councilors can figure out
Psycho
how to
platform.
riding by riding. And I'll be out amongst the people, meeting them and hearing about their complaints. So if the councilor's out of line, I'll call them up and say, I had dinner and you're riding at this community meeting. They don't like you there.
So you'll be available for speakerphone during the meetings then?
Well,
They could
Skype
you
out!
in.
Yeah,
Skype you in.
clearly. I'm smoking
Skype you
pot.
in.
Unless they'll let you smoke pot in chambers.
Yeah, we can just
We're
set
going
this
to try
up.
and do that at some point. If the paper lunch vote ever comes up, we're going to smoke out council chambers. You wait and see.
I will fly in if you want me to help. We're in
Well,
for a big fight with all these new regulations. Do you want to get your weed mailed to you?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You're, of course, known for your ongoing court case that's happening, that's happened and be appealed and so on and so forth. Wait, you said you're going back to court, and yeah, of course, this whole thing that's happening with the MMPR system, some good, some bad, mostly bad. What do you think?
Well, I think we'll end it on this. I've talked about it. One with court, we're going to wait for the Supreme Court to come back, and I think the team of Lewin and Mernagh, we fight much better when we're the underdogs. So I'm very confident on that front. But on the MMPR, my Facebook's lit up with people. I'm prepared to fight with you to go to jail. And so the first thing people need to adopt is a positive mindset. These things are long and drawn out. Like my court case was 5 years. So don't burn any of your energy today and tomorrow just because they've made it announced. Just wait and save and conserve. But begin planning and building your team, building your support network. My family, my mom and dad, I talked to them yesterday and I told them, hey, we're back in court on Tuesday. Here's what we're talking to. We're in touch with the Crown. And my mom's like, this is what your family would support and this is what we, suggest. And I want to make sure that activists out there that are prepared to fight the MMPR are on very good, even footing because it's a long haul. Basically, I think we have to look back and go with Marc Emery saying and overthrow the government. And some of us are going to fall by the wayside, and I would recommend people assess whether or not they can lose. How much are they prepared to lose? Are they prepared to lose their homes, their families. The man will take you on hard. So there's a lot of people out there ready to continue fighting, and I just want them to really think hard before they march down that road and take some deep breaths. It's not going to change overnight. But I saw social media that was just batshit crazy that I'm just like, you know what, I got to turn all this off. So I just want our community to know that it's a long fight. And I guess on the last one there, I would recommend playing a strong defense, not an offense. We played deep offense on Hitzig, and we attacked the MMAR right out of the gate. And one thing we noticed when we were going through the transcripts of the old Hitzig case was that one of its failings was that it started right away. Already I've been asked to testify, and I don't know how this program's all going to shake out for another couple of years. So I think we all need to take a deep breath and overthrow the government.
Well, and I guess that just means continuing to grow, even when the government says you're not allowed to. If you can, if you're willing to take the risk.
Well, I think a lot of people have been growing long before they got legal.
Well, that's true too.
But you think people are willing to take the fall and just challenge it each case by case?
Well, I think a good defense, and that's why I ask people. I'm like, don't go on the offense. Wait for someone to get caught, and then they can like do this. I mean, my court case was we're at $60,000 now.
Yeah, it's not cheap to do these things.
And so when you go on the offense, you have to pay for it. And if they appeal it, then you have to pay for the appeal, and it just keeps piling on. I have a special legal grant to do my case. The Ontario government looked at my case and said, we want to pay for this. Paul Willard and I were even talking about that. There's no way we could do this case over again.
Yeah, no. Very expensive. Well, but I guess really the next, it's just waiting to see what happens. And I know there is some sort of good thing or two maybe in that MMPR situation with the private growers and so on and so forth. I don't like the mail order stuff. I wish they could have, storefronts. But the model itself, I mean, as long as people are able...
I mean, the Flames has released an editorial that's calling for the legalization of marijuana. Why are we just going to license private companies for medical marijuana? Let's allow companies that own wineries and greenhouses an opportunity to grow recreational marijuana. Let's just end this. The two-tiered system for medical marijuana has to come to an end. We can't just hold this idea of medical marijuana and recreational. We have to cross the divide and smash marijuana prohibition.
Yeah, people should be able to grow their own medicine. I think it's also important to point out that the doctors themselves don't want to be the gatekeeper to this current program. In BC, the BC College of Physicians CEO released her quarterly statement, John Conroy pointed out to me, and they stated that they're going to boycott the system itself and that they don't feel that they should be prescribing marijuana in the first place, and that it's really a natural path that as the expertise to prescribe a natural plant rather than them. So it'll be interesting to see, because the doctors themselves aren't going to participate in it. In BC, I know that for sure. I read the report myself. I linked it on my Facebook. But yeah, so it's going to be a real big fight. I know that. But I've heard people aren't even getting their new licenses, like the ones saying they can grow. The government stopped giving them out now. So that's going to be a fight right there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I wish the doctors would get behind it, but because recreational, I think, is medical.
But they don't have the expertise to prescribe it. They prescribe pills. What kind of plant matter can you go get from a general practitioner in a clinic?
Yeah, there's a larger problem here, and that's the doctors aren't really looking at things from a holistic angle, aren't looking at it from a natural angle.
Nor are they trained to.
Yeah.
Nor is there dosage information or proper studies for it.
Right, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so Matt, you've dealt with doctors for a long time. When you talk to doctors about marijuana, what's the kind of response you get from them?
Well, the response has been interesting. When they don't recognize me, which I saw a doctor the other day, didn't know me, didn't recognize me, saw him for the first time. He actually told me marijuana was addictive, and his comments and stuff about it, I was just like, you're just here to check out my shoulder and see how well it works. And one of the funniest things, so I did this whole medical examination with this doctor who said marijuana was addictive. And I said, well, what are we going to do about the pain issue? And he's like, well, just keep doing what you're doing. But when I see doctors, my family doctor saw me on 16 by 9 of all things, the global investigation into medical marijuana and doctors.
Yep.
And ever since, my doctor spends more time with me talking about medical marijuana and suggesting that I should visit him more often to talk to him about the issue of medical marijuana and how certain things affect my brain tumor. But it's a challenge out there. I would like to point out the MMPR has an opportunity for nurse practitioners to sign for medical marijuana, and not to overreach.
Yeah, but they have to have certain qualifications. It's specific nurses, was what Connor was
nurse
pointing out.
practitioners.
Yeah, so
They're a different class of nurses, and they have provincial legislation.
I just don't want everyone going
there
there.
that prohibits them from signing for medical marijuana or marijuana in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But fuck that whole system. Everyone needs to have access. 18 plus, just like Washington. We're jealous up here in BC.
No kidding. And even in Colorado, you can grow 6 plants of your own. Yeah. That's really what you want.
No victims. That's the one thing everyone needs to point out. We have no victims in this whole thing. There's no lineup of body bags or anything.
Like David Malvin said, show me the bodies.
Show me the bodies.
Here's a question for you guys. With Seattle, Washington, and recreational marijuana coming out, which will be great for book sales. My question is, do you think there'll be like...
So you should bring more than 150 bucks, buddy. They're going to hop the border for the Kush Cup, dude.
Do you think it'll be like the kind and have lines around the block and all that?
Yep, I think so, man. You're sexy, too.
Text me the photos of you guys waiting in line for 2 hours.
People are going to be angry, though, if you don't have enough bucks.
They
They'll
will
be like,
be.
what the fuck? I came from
Marius.
Washington to learn how to sample weed.
I have videos to play.
You speaking to the mic?
All right, I have to go
Speaking
check
to the
on
mic.
some girls and do some chores tonight. I can't just be
We
like,
got to
hey,
do Todd Hancock
Right, we have to leave soon?
after 6.
Okay. All right, Matt. Well, thanks for coming on,
He's
man.
on between 6 and 7.
That was
see you
awesome.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it won't be long. You'll be sitting right next to me on the couch here.
You're going to be high, buddy. So high.
We're going to get you nice and high out here.
With Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, that's going
Have
to
a
be
good
cool.
night, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you, Matt. Thanks for coming
Later.
on, brother. Oh, that was good. Matt Mernagh, Cannabis Champion of the Universe. Actually, he's Canada's Cannabis Champion of the Universe.
Yep. I keep talking too much. My joint goes out.
Jesus, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, eh?
Well, yeah, thanks, Marius, for doing that. That's
One
nice.
to talk.
Oh, you're close, you're close.
Surprised you're not too
It even
high,
says the
just
word close there.
rambling on, eh, Marius?
No,
He's staying on topic tonight.
I have
Pretty
been
good.
staying on topic, and I've been eating the popcorn. I haven't overdosed on the popcorn yet, but I have been eating this weed candy that you brought here. This
Yeah.
tangerine candy. This
Careful.
stuff is awesome, man.
Careful.
I love it. I've eaten a lot of it already. I've eaten a full baggie, plus a little more. I just snapped this one in half. I was
Are you
struggling with it.
serious?
Yeah, is it strong?
Yeah, it's double. That's like double dose, buddy.
Oh shit. Should I not eat any more?
No, go hard. You're a champion.
It's just so. I like candy.
Yeah, well,
Candy's delicious.
it's also convenient when you're at work.
Now, after the show, you and I are going. Am I still going with you? Is that still the plan, or what?
I wouldn't. What, I invited you and then not bring you that?
Well, I don't know. Just
I'm not
that's
you,
kind of-
buddy. I
that
don't
shit-
scum people like
Oh,
scumbagging
why, how
people
would
like
I?
that.
When have I ever done anything like that?
Well, then why
I'm
would you
not
think I
you.
would?
Well,
It's in like your thought
'Cause
realm,
I-
not mine. I invited you.
because I think that's the kind of person you are.
I could get a hold of Todd. He said I talked to him. He texted me at like 11:30 at night asking about coming to the Kush Cup and being a judge and all that, and if he could tail along with me. And he's like, it was 11:30 at night. He was like, oh, sorry, I didn't know it was so late. Anyways, and I was like, yeah, tomorrow I want to come. And he said for sure. And he was like, on the radio today, I heard him say the Kush.ca Kush Cup crew is going to come around
There you
between
go.
6 and 7, but he still hadn't responded. So, but he just responded like, not too long ago. But he was on the air, so.
There you
But
go.
anyways, I confirmed,
So you're
they-
confirmed to go on
I'm
the
definitely-
Fox
well, he
Radio
told everyone that I'm
at
coming on
6
between 6
o'clock
and 7.
tonight, Pacific time.
With you.
the Kush Cup, and I'll be sticking around there.
You gotta come in. It's so cool. It's a good view.
Yeah, I do. I've been
We'll
to.
pop down for sure. You know that.
I've been to 101, but I haven't been to
the Fox.
the Fox.
The Fox is really behind everything this year. So
Yeah.
we're super excited.
How long does it take to get there?
Get to there?
Yeah.
It's like 3 blocks away.
Oh,
and I
that's
have a
good.
vehicle.
Okay, that's good.
And I can plunk people in the car as I get out of the car.
And we have a time machine.
Yeah. It's
All
very,
right.
very close.
We have a flux capacitor.
So anytime, he's on between 6 and 7. We'll
Let's have a.
go
Do you want a
there.
bong rip out a bong cam here?
You talking to me?
Yeah, sure.
How about you give it to
I
Marius?
was talking to you.
How about you give it to Marius? He's been
Marius,
sitting there
you want a bong
monitoring
cam
the
rip?
microphones. I feel like we've been
Okay.
ignorant about the microphones today. And I just wanted to say we love you, Marius. We're sorry.
I've been trying to talk into the mic
He said my
here.
tone's going up and down because I was yelling at Matt
Usually,
Mernagh.
you're normal, and then you start yelling. It's a little too close right now.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I have to
Never
watch
good.
the show over to see it for the first time. That's true. I get really
Let me sit
high
over there for
on
a
the
second.
show. Here, let me load you up. Introduce Marius and his new hair. Speaking of things that I'm going to make fun of, I'm just joking.
Ta-da!
It looks good. Look at that wave. That blonde wave.
I just had to do something. and
Yeah, it
this
looks
was
good.
it. So
I
you'll have
like
to let
it.
me know if you like it or not, chat.
I thought that. What did I say? It looks like a David Bowie cut. At least in one of his periods.
Yeah, if anybody sees Tom Hanks, I have a word with him.
Tom Hanks. I'm loading you up for a bong cam rip, Marius.
Thank you.
I don't know how long this thing is. You might have to come around, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
I can do it from here.
Yeah, you can.
Anytime soon.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna give a ticket away right now. How many tickets? 2
Thanks,
We
tickets.
also got the Rascals will be there. Red One was
Yeah,
here.
red
but
one was here. What happened to
he
red
was
one?
gonna come back. He had an appointment at 4:30. We didn't get him on in time.
He
'cause-
came on the cam for just a second to pass a joint over.
Yeah, he was here.
Yeah. So we want to give 2 tickets away. Is that what it is, or just 1 ticket?
Yeah, 2 tickets.
2 tickets. All right.
One ticket is
So,
gonna go show
all right.
alone.
Well, let's come up with some sort of scheme. The first person in the chat who does what?
It's on. Just so everyone knows, it's June 30th. So it's at the Center for Performing Arts.
Okay. Here's a question. The first person in the chat. Oh, my thing just died.
It's too awesome of a contest.
But the first person in the chat who can tell me who the star, who the story, the star of Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Story, the second story that he tells. If somebody can tell me, the first person in the chat to tell me who he's talking about in the second story. Do you know who it is?
I'm not gonna say it. No. I
No,
don't know.
well, I just wondered if you know.
No, I have no clue.
No, okay.
I've seen
Well,
it all, so I have a good
anybody
guess.
else know? I know.
Obviously, it's
Char-
your
Char-
contest now.
Charlie
So it's
Murphy's
for-
True Hollywood Stories on the
Aren't you
Dave
gonna wait for
Chappelle
them
Show.
to answer before you give it out?
I'm not gonna give it out.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give it out. If anybody can answer that, they truly deserve the ticket. There you go.
We're gonna need their first and last names of the people.
That's right.
And
I don't know
I'll put
why
them on the roll
my
call.
thing keeps dying. You're still going, right? Maybe nobody will get that. Maybe that's too hard of a question for the chatters. Well, if that's the case,
Anyone knows?
somebody's.
Isn't there some answers coming in? Can we read some answers?
we do have a winner.
Make sure it's the first one.
We have a winner. I think that's a winner. Harper, are you the winner? Yes, Harper's the winner.
Harper.
Harper is the winner. Well, And I'm not. Yeah, Prince is the answer.
Prince. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So the first story is about Rick James, of course.
Yeah, I knew that. That was the one that got it off.
But the second one was about Prince.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
So awesome.
So there you go. So Harper, you just won 2 tickets to see Cypress Hill at the Kush Cup. Be Real of Cypress Hill. It's just Be Real because the other members can't get over the border.
Yeah, and the Rascals. It's also going to be a great show.
And the Rascals are there that night, too.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show because it's also the finale to the Kush Cup. So, and
Cool.
we're the third last show at the Center for Performing Arts. And we're actually going to have smoking tents set up there. And there's going to be Red Bull being given away also to anyone that drinks that awesome stuff.
Yes.
I like water. And...
and Harper, you can send your contact info
What I'm trying to say is it's going to be a house burner. All the employees there are choked at the Center for Performing Arts. They're no longer going to be employed there. So they're going to let us do whatever we want, is what I think.
How do you get tickets?
For what?
How does this guy get the tickets from you?
Oh, he's got to email me his name.
Okay.
So can we send him a message separately, or do I have to just give him my email and everyone's going to send me their name?
Well, yeah, somehow we got to communicate that message. Harper, he can send me an email. I don't care if other people send me. But if somebody's going to be like, I'm Harper, or somebody else is going to be like, I'm Harper. Yeah. How do we know who it is? How do we really know?
Get him to call us right now.
Harper can give us his email.
DNA sample?
Harper can't come.
Harper can't make it?
Oh, so he has to delegate who he wants to give the ticket to. He can give it away to somebody else in the chat if he wants. I don't know how that works, but he won the ticket. He can do whatever he wants.
He's
with
just a smarty pants.
He wants to give it to somebody else.
I need to clarify something, though. East Coast Smoker thinks that my hair change means that I'm homosexual. So I'd just like to tell him, no.
No, it's definitely not the haircut.
I mean, if I was, I'd say it. Whatever, but I'm not. Just so you know. Thanks for asking. Damn it. He says damn it, so maybe I broke his heart. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure he's very disappointed. Crushed his hopes and dreams. But, Marius, you never know what could happen. People change their minds. Marius isn't married yet or anything, so.
I'm fucking high. Here comes some energy.
Here comes... David.
Look what I got with me.
David Mama Levine.
DML.
I've got three amazing activists, pot activists, and drug peace activist posters.
I can't really hear you.
Come over here.
So just save your chat for the mic.
And give him this microphone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet.
Thank you. Just hot off the press. You guys can tell me if there are any spelling errors. First of all, Cannabis Day.
Twist the mic a bit.
Wow, so good colors.
The beaver dealer, or the dealer beaver.
Jer, twist his mic a bit.
That's awesome.
What do you think? Here, look at that.
That's great.
Tell me if there's anything
That's very
missing
beautiful.
or wrong in that. Then, secondly, we also have the Mushroom Festival. We have planned for July 23rd and July 24th. And that's
Mushroom
going
Festival?
down. Yeah, you can learn more about that on the Facebook. So just if pot isn't your favorite drug, we also got shrooms going on. And then if you also
Hold on.
like in the art, we've got the new Herb Museum art auction poster for Thursday, July 18th, 2013. And it's a Megan Allard, and you know how she does the ladies smoking the weed.
She's amazing.
She makes freedom look sexier than it already is. So 3 posters are done, and if you want copies of these posters, you can come up and get them for free. They're sitting on the 2nd floor at the Herb Museum free poster counter.
307 West Hastings.
307 West Hastings, Amsterdam, British Columbia. And
yeah, put them up in your school or your work.
In your lockers, at your churches, wherever people gather, wherever they meet and talk about the day and the news of the day.
And what they're going to do.
And what they're going to do, what they're planning to do. Please help us put up posters. One person can't do everything, but everybody can do something. And that's how I feel like the movement is just a collection of superpowered beings, each one doing what they can do. Right? And one of your superpowers is consuming heroic doses of cannabinoids.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I know. We need to do more field studies in what heroic doses will do to somebody.
Well, it's kept me cancer-free since my bone marrow transplant.
And you're a high-functioning individual. You've got the Kush Cup coming up.
Yeah.
And you're organizing it while maintaining. What do you smoke? Like, how much a day? A half ounce, an ounce?
I can tell you I've been doing crazy doses lately. So I did the about 40-gram butter box.
Oh.
And
did anyone pass out from that?
Yeah, I think I almost died. I was testing the limits.
Sounds
more
great.
from lack of oxygen rather than cannabis.
Did you hallucinate?
They want posters.
No, I didn't hallucinate.
If anybody wants posters,
well, people want posters?
if the chatters want posters,
Oh, there'll be posters available at the Herb Museum, 307 West Hastings, second floor. Come up, take all of them, put them up everywhere. I'll make more.
Yeah, you can have them.
We smoked at least 22-gram joints in the last hour. Yeah.
Gee, what is your day? What's your daily intake, though?
Unlimited, as much as I can.
As much as you can get your hands on?
Yeah, and I take it.
What does that end up being?
There's no limit. That's the way it should be. It's a natural plant.
I know that there is no limit, but just overall, what do you end up smoking every month?
Can't hear me.
Sorry. Eric, what do you end up smoking every month? Or daily? Just like an ounce?
Maybe 20 to 40 grams, yeah.
Okay, so over an ounce a day.
Yeah, please. Plus I do edibles, and I've been doing juicing lately, where I mix with cannabis that's been juiced with the other juices.
And he's been making candy, including cotton candy.
Yeah.
And
well,
actually,
that's been experimenting in the kitchen.
Experimenting in the kitchen. We have a video of
is
that.
40 grams a day smoked or 40 grams a day total?
40 grams a day would be smoked for sure, 20 to 40 grams, and then plus all my other edibles and juicing on top of that. Plus I do extracts, such as the goo, the clear honey oil I like to do, and I like to do dab hits of butter, the high extracts, and I also like to do as much trichomes as I can get, whether it be through hash or, yeah, as much as I can.
Wow, and
have different varieties too. I like to get multiple different cannabinoids to get the full effects, such as the NORML guy was saying today, the cannabidiol, because I am diabetic. I'm type 1 diabetic since I had my bone marrow transplant, so I want to take cannabis as much as I can so that I don't ever have cancer come back again.
No doubt.
Since we're surrounded by radiation.
Yes, that's coming in an article coming out in the next week or two at Cannabis Culture, my article on hemp, mushrooms, and Fukushima, how we can survive crazy amounts of radiation that's coming.
Insane.
And now, but I'd just like to point out that if caffeine was your drug and you were doing that much, you'd be wired, incapacitated, unable to form coherent sentences, and generally a menace on the road. But because it's cannabis, you can survive those heroic doses and are actually helping you live longer with less stress and fewer wrinkles, I imagine.
Yeah, and cope with the symptoms of my medical conditions also, right? So and I'm very functional. Yeah. So and I still have to write shit down and make sure that I plan my day, and always am always have people helping me, remaining on it with lots of stuff. But you know what? It works for me, and it's a lot better than taking something that's addictive or that has really bad side effects, such as opiates or other pain relievers, right?
Pretty much anything that comes out of big pharma.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think.
And I enjoy it. I love it. Yeah. I love the culture of marijuana, and I think that's so therapeutic, especially if you're going through a critical illness. I think it was one thing that people point out, that the new medical significance of how it can be anti-cancer and all that stuff, right? But it's also something else to focus on, and there is a community behind cannabis, especially like at dispensaries and stuff like that. Yeah. That's why I'm really opposed to this mailing the weed. Yeah. It's like I have a lot of patients that come to the dispensary that are there for the human interaction, that coming there for the knowledge of it also, right?
Health Canada is trying to isolate us, cowering under our sheets, alone in our own homes, instead of the dispensaries remove the isolation, which is a killer element of disease.
Yeah, and also have doctors that aren't really trained or knowledgeable in that sort of thing. It's not a natural thing that they prescribe.
No, they didn't include naturopaths or herbalists in those who can dole out the pot.
Yeah, and it's even the doctors themselves, the CEO of the College of Physicians and Doctors, that said in her quarterly statement that they do not want to participate in the program for that very reason, that they're not educated in cannabis.
And I guess they even did away with designated growers. It's just personal growing. So the paraplegics are going to have to get up off their asses and grow their own weed from now on, because Health Canada said that's, you know, the healthiest model they could come up with. What were they smoking? They were smoking the PPS Mindschwag when they came up with that.
I think that's really important to point out, is that the government has not left any room to cover the expense of cannabis in this new model either. So all the time I have patients that can't afford to get the cannabis that they need. I'm allowed to grow my own, so I'm able to access as much as I need, right? But there's a lot of people that can't grow it, and also the government's not providing it. So they would provide, you know, everything else that's prescribed by a doctor, but they won't provide cannabis. So I sure as hope hell that people that cannot provide for themselves and cannot get somebody else to grow it, the government better be taking care of them. And that's the hole in this whole system, in reality.
I only got one thing to say about the new medical marijuana model. Man, fuck Harper. Fuck him with a fuck him with a cranky panda. That's all I have to say about that.
Cranky panda.
Sorry about that, Marius. I get riled up sometimes when it comes to the government.
I see it coming.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
I'm
well
off.
said though, David.
It
was loud. It was
though
well
it was loud,
said.
it was said. Yeah, I sometimes.
And nice work on the posters.
I
I gotta say, the Cannabis Day one especially, man, great
yeah, you
work.
like the cannabis?
Is that Bob High?
That's a Bob High beaver.
That's a Bob High beaver.
Yeah, it's a.
That's my tattoo. I got that on my back. I've shown drug dealers in weird countries that I'm not a cop and that I'm okay to sell weed to.
You're cool.
I got a pot leaf on my back, so I got that. I'm from Canada, man, and I got a pot leaf. I'm clearly cool to sell weed to.
That's a cool poster.
I think the beaver's coming back again and again, but this is dealer beaver.
I like that poster.
Alrighty. Anyway, have a great day, guys.
Later,
Thanks, David.
Thanks for the info.
And
Posters around town.
Yeah,
That's
fuck
right.
Harper, eh?
So, Marius, we talked about Medmark and his
Cotton candy. Yeah.
cotton candy. I want to play the video. I want to see Medmark making cotton candy.
Give me a
Oh
second.
yeah, it's exciting.
We have the video. Marius is
It's
going
the
to play
first
it for
time we
us.
tried too.
It's just a short video. It's like 2 minutes long or something, but this is
Awesome.
you in the kitchen brewing up the candy. See, and I've been eating this candy. You made this, right?
Yes, I did.
You made it where, in your bathtub?
No, in a kitchen.
I'm just kidding.
So actually, you have to heat it to 300 degrees to get it to turn to candy,
It's really good.
and then constantly whipping it.
I've been eating a few bags of it now.
It's very
no,
popular.
I've only
You're
eaten a
gonna-
bag and a half.
But you're gonna feel that for sure.
Am I?
That popcorn is considered one dose. That full bag.
Well, it's not like we have anything
This
to
is
do
a
right
double
now, right?
dose. Just letting you know, we're going to Todd Hancock's show live. So keep your shit together.
All right.
Okay, but this is like I really
I
wanted
have
to
to.
make this. Like I knew that you could turn the candy into freaking to
I wanna
cotton
make
candy, but I
gummy
hadn't done
bears.
it.
I want to make
So,
gummy bears.
I've done that before. I was
You
on
make
Fox
gummy bears?
News. Yeah, remember Fox News?
That was for making gummy bears?
Yeah, it was gummy bears.
Ah,
It's all different
shit.
gummies.
How are the gummy bears?
They are amazing. The gummy bears are really good. They're very good for people that have problems chewing. Is also something.
wanna
I
make,
agree.
like,
also
a-
make a chewy candy.
I want to make just...
That's you just don't heat it up as
many
much,
gummy bears
and you
as
get it more
possible.
chewy.
We should make bathtubs full of that.
Awesome.
All right. How's that cotton candy
Yeah,
video,
anytime.
Mars? Anytime.
All right.
Let's check this video out. Medmark
Sweet.
making cannabis
Cotton candy.
candy.
Potin candy was what someone
Cotton
told me to call it.
candy.
You should have. We had this like stoner idea to make cotton candy, or weed cotton candy. It gets you medicated, so everyone needs a little sugar in their life. So it says to put 2 scoops in it. We added it with this like flossine, it's called. You're supposed to put it with sugar, but we took our candy, crushed it up, mortar pestle with the flossine. Make sure it's really nice and fine. And this is our first test. Does not want to come out. There we go. It's starting to heat up now. Oh my god. I'm gonna go spin it, right? Yeah. For a second there, I thought it wasn't gonna work. Fucking shit balls. I'm not a professional cotton candy guy, huh?
It calms down a bit.
Yeah, oh yeah. This is test 1.
Whatever.
Test 1, man. Weed cotton candy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's getting heated up now. Sweet.
Don't touch it to the edge.
Don't touch it to the edge?
That's a melted.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, man. It doesn't stop.
It won't stop, actually, you have to cut it.
Stop it? Are you fucking joking? That looks like cotton candy. Eat it! Fucking A, weed cotton candy! Yeah! Awesome, buddy. Thoughts become things. I don't know what you did today. I made weed cotton candy. I made weed cotton candy.
You're back.
Nice.
Awesome.
Cool. Cotton
I was
candy.
so happy. That was success, eh?
Fucking right.
That was the
weed
first
cotton
time I
candy,
tried
yeah.
to do it. Like, we just kicked on the machine, so... Yeah, it had to heat up, so it took a little while. There was like a good minute there, because it said on the directions 20 to 30 seconds, and then it should
That
start
stuff tastes
to, and
pretty
it
good,
took like
or
a minute. Oh, amazing, man. It's like you absorb it quicker, right? I'm
saying
diabetic, so I'm
that.
on insulin, so sometimes I need sugar, right? I really have to boost my sugars up because I'm on an insulin dose, right?
That's right.
It's continually, right? I don't produce insulin after my bone marrow transplant. So anyway, so sometimes I need sugar. I'm not type 2. Some people misconstrue the two different ones,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, so the point is sometimes I need sugar, right? So I absorbed that sugar really quickly, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you see some diabetics have like glycerol or whatever that stuff's called, right? I don't
Right.
use that shit. I'll take fruit or whatever.
You use weed cotton candy.
Yeah, but it hit me hard is my point. I think because it's so stringy, right? Like you just absorb it and it just goes right in, right?
That's
So
funny. It looks
yeah,
like
I
it
got
was
really
delicious.
high. It was really
And
crazy.
whose facility was that?
That was at iMedicate.
Oh, that and they have.
But it's not there no more. It's down at, that was just me kicking it on. I had to go get the candy, right, to try and I mixed it
whose
with the
cotton
flossing.
candy maker is it?
Mine, I bought it
you
off.
bought
It was used for charity once. So they ran it once, and my buddy, I'd been like trying to think about doing this, or I had been thinking about doing this, and my buddy sent me like a text saying, hey, do you want to go halfers on the cotton candy machine, or you can just get it on your own or whatever.
Nice.
Here's a Craigslist link. And then
What
the
is
knee
it?
guy
Where?
over there, he went and got it on the line and called him, and then we drove up and met the guy, and he's like, yeah, I told him what we were going to use it for.
Nice.
And
He
he thought it was
approved?
awesome. Yeah, he wanted tickets to the Health
He
Expo.
was like the curator of an old like circus or something.
I forget what he did, but it was some charity, man. No, it was like, yeah, we used it for some charity once for like 4 hours to give
Fairgrounds.
away free cotton candy.
Yeah.
So, and anyways, he even gave me the flossing with it. You got to mix in like 2 tablespoons with 10 kilograms of sugar. So, it's a lot of sugar.
That is. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but it's genius.
I never realized cotton candy was that much sugar.
That's all it is string sugar, basically, and flossing.
It's a joke.
You knew. So, yeah, but genius, right? It's another way to deliver that fine, awesome cannabis.
That's right. I'm saying gummy bears, man. I want gummy bears.
It's been done already. I'm on the Fox News with it. They ripped my video and put me on Fox
I don't care if
News.
it's been done. I would just want them to eat.
Oh, okay.
I
So,
want them to like right here.
so
in front of
next
me in a
Friday,
pile.
Jeremiah, I promise to bring gummy bears.
bringing
for
gummy
you.
bears?
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
rights.
man.
Oh, dude,
Can we
bring me
play the
gummy
Fox
bears.
News video though next week?
Yeah.
That video's so
I don't
awesome.
have that in front of me, but if you could tell Marius, we can play it this
We
week.
can find it. Yeah.
Do you know where it is?
What time do you guys have to go
Gummy
to?
bears.
The,
Oh, don't we have to go soon?
What time is it?
5:47.
I think we got time. It's only a minute video.
Oh yeah.
It's really funny.
Well, how long will it take him to find it though? That's the real question.
Not very
Where
long.
is it located? On
I
your
gotta
wall?
put his
Facebook wall?
No, just put in on YouTube Fox News gummy bears.
Fox News gummy bears.
Yeah, it'll come up right away for sure.
Marijuana gummy bears.
That's all I got. It was like posted to me.
Fox News marijuana gummy bears. We're all looking now. Everybody's searching. See, by the time we do it, everybody will search for it themselves.
Put on videos.
That's the
You
one?
You did it on Google. You're supposed to go on YouTube.
Well, what the fuck?
You're looking at it. It's a YouTube video.
All right, okay.
And then you didn't put in the right search engine that I told you to put in. And you spelled gummies MMIES.
What's wrong with that? World's largest gummy bear on Fox. Well, we'll let Marius worry about that one.
Okay, like I said, next week.
World's largest gummy. Yeah, exactly. Well, I do have a whole bunch of other videos I wanted to play. I wanted to play the one of the Sensible
Ward County
BC
educators
billboard,
became
and then the one of
students as
Jody
they were
on
filled in on the
CTV
latest
as well.
So we're just going to sign off now so we
new
can go to
trends
the
within
studio?
the drug culture.
Well, I
And then
guess
play
so.
the videos as in the goodbye, right?
All right, we could do that. I had more videos to play too, but I guess we won't be able to play all the videos. These ones were
Gummy
fairly
bears?
short. Yeah, we'll play the Sensible BC one, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit, and then that'll be.
You don't want the
And then
gummy
we'll
bear
go?
one?
Yeah, and then we'll go.
We're gonna go to
I
the
just
Fox
found the
Studios,
gummy bear one. It's all ready to go.
Oh, he's got the gummy bear one.
Yeah, he's got the gummy one.
Okay, play the gummy bear one.
We can make time for that.
Play the gummies.
Back up, boy.
Today, Worth County educators became students as they were filled in on the latest new trends within the drug culture. Fox 31's Jessica Fairley was at that training, and she connects us to the story.
They know about crack cocaine, heroin, meth, and drugs from the past. But times are changing and so are drug trends. What could seem like a simple snack could be an alcoholic vice. Take, for instance, gummy bears.
They're soaking gummy bears in alcohol, letting them dry, or removing them after a period of time and letting them dry. And they're eating them like candy, but the alcohol's already soaked into it.
The investigator with the Albany Doherty Drug Unit says a student can walk around school getting drunk without anyone knowing. And soaked gummy bears aren't the only tricks kids are using. They're also taking to tampons.
They had the appearance of being drunk, they stumbled, and once they got to talking to the students, they admitted that they were soaking them and then inserting them, and it worked their way into their system.
He says teachers need to be aware because with easy access to the internet, these trends are spreading faster and faster, and they may be in their schools.
It'd be good for them to understand what's going on in their own classrooms. So this is kind of another tool for them to use, so they'll know what to.
Weed gummies is all the video is.
Okay, that wasn't it, I guess.
No. Weed. G-U-M-Y. Fox.
Gummy bears.
Weed gummies. I'll find it right.
Okay, Sensible BBC.
Yeah, so that was definitely not. Yeah, play the Sensible BC video, Mars. Uh-oh.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Good.
That's the one. So that wasn't the gummy bear video.
No, it wasn't.
But I don't really. Yeah, we can watch the video later. I just want to eat the gummy bears. But yeah, let's play.
It's called "Warning from Doctors: More Kids Being Exposed from Pot-Laced Foods." Is the name of the video.
There you go.
Well,
we
here
won't
comes
watch it now.
Sensible BC.
Sensible BC billboard.
Okay.
I'm eating more popcorn.
Those of you who take the Lionsgate Bridge will see a new bold sign on your morning commute tomorrow, and it all has to do with the push to legalize pot. As CTV's Julie Nolan reports, the campaign is lighting up.
Off the Lionsgate Bridge, a new billboard appears Monday to entice drivers to consider a referendum to decriminalize pot. It signals another step in the Sensible BC campaign.
Things are getting worse in Canada. More Canadians are going to be going to jail for small-time marijuana offenses, and I think that's a terrible waste of police resources.
Rallies like this one in April show huge support for changes to pot legislation, but it takes more than this. The to-do list includes recruiting thousands of canvassers, 10% of signatures in each of the 85 ridings in the province, so that's 400,000 signatures required within 90 days.
I said don't expect to win. You really, this is a very, it was intentionally made as extremely hard as possible.
Bill Thielman knows the struggle ahead. He was part of the highly successful initiative for the HST referendum. While marijuana reform is clearly a popular issue, Thielman says running a referendum is an enormous amount of work. Unlike the HST issue where nearly everyone was ticked off, maybe supporters are just not passionate enough for the marijuana issue.
You have to get up off the couch, put the munchies down and go.
What we do have is a lot of British Columbians who want to see this happen.
Dana Larson agrees the road ahead is tough, but with the campaign for signatures officially beginning in September, it might be enough time to raise ample support.
We're really just fighting against inertia and against lobbying from the RCMP who like things the way they are.
On the heels of successful referendums in Washington and Colorado, Sensible BC says it's high time the province followed suit. If enough signatures are collected, a referendum would go ahead next year. Julie Nolan, CTV News, Vancouver.
Are we back? Nice. All right. Well, I guess that's the show. I guess on the way out, we'll play one more video of Jody talking to CTV. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in again to the show. We'll be back again next Friday. Guess we're going to do a Kush Cup at Health Expo show next Friday, right?
Yeah, we'll just show everyone right now the...
Yeah. That's coming up soon here. So we'll give a little promo as to what's going to be there fully by next week. Talk to you guys a little bit more about everything on the list. Maybe have somebody on the show from the whole operation or
Kush
something.
Cup's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a big one. And the Vancouver Health Expo.
Yeah, and Vancouver Health Expo. It's all one big show. So if you can't make it to the Kush Cup, $10 to go to the Health Expo. VancouverHealthExpo.com. We got lots of speakers. Tons.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, let's go, man. We got to go on the Todd Hancock
so
show.
we're going to go on the Fox
We're going on the
Radio
Fox.
right
If you
now
guys
in
want to tune on
Vancouver.
that, 99.3. So we'll be on there in like the next, as soon as we get our asses over there. So let's go.
All right, big thanks to Paul Armentano from NORML.
NORML, yeah.
NORML US.
Awesome.
And thanks to Matt Mernagh, Cannabis Champion of the Universe, for coming on. Big thanks to Marius.
And Jody.
And
much love to Mark and
Neil Magnuson's in
sucks
the house.
what he's going
David
through there.
Melma-Levine was on the show. And
Yeah.
of course, Marc Klokeid.
Oh yeah, let's do this. And
Love you,
Marius
man.
for putting up with us yelling in the mic.
Peace. Love you, Pot TV.
That's probably a good
Next
idea around me.
Friday.
I can't help it.
Peace, guys.
I'm trained at projection. Pot TV.
Say bye.
Bye. Yay.